What's up, guys? You've tapped into the EDGE Welding YouTube channel. My name is Eric, I'm with Procreation. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, glad you're back. Diving right into it, for those of you that follow me, you kind of already know what this is about. I'm gonna show you how to consistently make repetitive, clean, aesthetic welds. I'm gonna show you how to do that in a way to gain repeat customers, right? Everybody knows that TIG welding has hundreds of variables. There are too many to talk about. We can go into the machine you bought, you know, if it's working properly, the torch you've got, the collet body or the gas lens that you're using, the cup size, the argon or whatever you're choosing to use on this weld, the CFH that you're using, the atmosphere, whether you have wind or moving air or whatever. What we a lot of times forget about is us. Like, what can we do like to be consistent? And that's what all this is laid out here for. I've got so many things that I use daily, and this is just some of it that I use every single day that makes my weld consistent. You have to be able to see. Make sure you have a good hood that you can see. You know, don't go and waste your money doing some cheap whatever. Spend the money on your eyesight. Find one that you can see, and that's not your obstruction. I have an assortment of things here. I have 1, 2, 3 blocks. These things right here help me with setup, whether it's spacing, squaring parts up, just getting a part off the table, whatever. I have, this is a random part that I got from one of my production lines. It was just a leftover. It's just, I know it's flat, it's square, it's a certain size. I've got little round pieces that, I know this seems goofy, but when you go into it, you're looking for things like, how can I set this part up properly and all this stuff. So I've got V-blocks, I've got handmade stuff. Most importantly, I have clamps. These things right here are awesome. Hopefully you have an assembly table. If you don't, and you're serious about welding, you may want to start looking into getting one. Find some place that has CNC. Get on some of these websites that sell them. Some of them are very expensive. I made my own, but these clamps are insanely useful because once you've got them going, like, you can do whatever you want. V-blocks here, magnet blocks. I really like these for like stops. All these things, I have everything on the ready. They're all on tables around me and in drawers right beside where I'm sitting, because whenever I'm moving, I want to move. I want to get it done, and I want everything to be repetitive. I got to get up and then come back and resituate. The welds aren't going to be the same. The most important thing that I want to talk about, I'm probably going to have to reposition the camera, is this big dude right here. This thing I made, maybe you can see, maybe you can't. This is my steady rest. It's in one piece right now, but I can pull it apart. It's telescoped. So you see this right here. It's got a base plate, right? This piece right here telescopes right onto this piece right here. I can lock it down wherever I want. I can take a clamp wherever I want. Set this dude up. Wherever you want it to be, you can run back and forth on parts, lean on it, whatever you want to do, and it's there. This is the most used tool that I have in my shop. Everybody that I've shown this, they've gone home and they made one, and they're like, how did I even weld before I had this thing? What you got to do is take your body out of it. Like, if I'm up here trying to weld and I'm all, it just doesn't work. Like, it doesn't. So I try to get steady. I try to put minimal movement with me. I try to do either wrist movement, or I'm sliding, or I'm doing a pivot here or something like that, so that even filling, it just, if you have too many movements, you're gonna dip your tungsten, you're gonna contaminate the weld, you're gonna do whatever. You can't be consistent without being stable. You know, you can't be consistent without being able to see. So these variables are what you have to really consider that you can do time and time again. I'm gonna change the table around, and we're gonna get into some more details on some of the welding parts that I want to talk about today, just to show you how some of this stuff works. All right, here we go. Everything moved around. What we're working on today, these are trays. I don't know if any of you guys are like hunting or fishing boat kind of guys or whatever, but these specifically are for Havoc style fishing boats. This customer I got, he sends me a lot of business. He's kind of the reason why I do so well with my aluminum game. We do Havoc, Tracker, EDGE, like multiple boats, and hundreds of parts. So I'm gonna link all of his information below with all the social media, his website or whatever, and you can check all this out. But this is a pretty cool deal. Before we get into it, it's like a little place to put keys, change, whatever, your wallet, cup holder. We also make them with switches for, trolling motor, bilge pump. I don't know. There's like 4 switches there, or a tachometer, etc. He sends me all these things pre-bent. So I know that if I set it flat on the table, I've got gaps in here and stuff like that. So I've got to get off the table. So what I do, I use a 1, 2, 3 block. I set it up. I get the part in here. I get it situated. Obviously I have my PPE. I got gloves, hood, and all that stuff on. I fuse tack it here. I come in here. I squeeze and fuse tack it in here. This corner right here so it doesn't move. I tack it in this corner so it doesn't move. Also this one so we have a good rollover on the inside. This one on the inside so we have a good rollover, a good transition so nothing's raw. Fuse tack a few of these and I'll get back with you. Okay, so I've got these few tacked up. If you want me to go into how I fuse tack and how I set my tacks up and all that stuff, leave it in the comments. I can make a video on that. It's actually, when I started doing it, it's a lot more involved than what I thought. So now I have to look at it and address, how do I want to weld this thing? So I want to run through it. I want to be fast. I want to be efficient. I want to be consistent. So how do I do it and stay consistent on every single part? When I say I don't do 3 or 4 of these, I do hundreds of them. So it's like, I gotta move. I gotta, how can I do this in a way that, one, it's gonna look great for the customer, great for the guy that I'm doing it for, and still hold strong. So I have to balance my heat. Consistency and balance go hand in hand. I can give you my amperage, I can give you my CFH, I can give you all those things. That's relevant to me, not to you. So amperage, yes, it does involve heat, but heat in your part really is more time. I may weld faster than you. You have to have a certain amount of heat to melt a certain thickness of metal, but some of us use less and some of us use more. Some of us work the pedal and some of us don't. On these small sheet metal parts, I'll really dial my heat in to within 5 amps of how I'm feeling that day. Some days I'm lagging, I'm like, man, I gotta adjust my amps because I'm full pedal. I want to have shiny, beautiful, perfect welds. I don't want to sit there and pump the pedal and be exhausted. I want to just run my hand down my city rest and make it. And I'm just, every time I'm hitting a dab, I'm thinking about, I'm making money. It's coins. It's ding, ding, ding. And that's what you should do. You should think of it as like, you're proud to do it because every time you lay a beautiful weld, someone paid you really well for it. And that's what it should be about. I mean, also if it's your hobby, like, love it. You want to respect it. You want everybody to see you as what your capabilities are. But if you're doing it as like a side hustle or a full-time job, it is what it is. Like, we're doing it to get paid. We're not doing it to, like for the credit. We're doing it to pay the bills. So the way I address this, for a lot of reasons, I'll weld my uprights first. I call these uprights. So I got 4 uprights. I'll weld those first and I'll disperse the heat. Sitting it like that, I would be like completely offset, blah, blah, blah. Like it's not gonna be a great weld. So the way I would set this thing up, I grab some 1, 2, 3 blocks. You can grab whatever you can find. It can be a block of wood. As long as the metal's touching your metal table, which is grounded over here, set it up. Boom. I know this is what it is. It seems like, oh, he's magic. No, I've done this 1,000 times. This is how I set it up. It's completely flat now. So then what do? I grab my steady rest and I throw it on a little V-block here, just so it's more stable. So when I get super lazy, I can lay on it and I can go across these welds. I'm gonna zap it, this way, flip it, I'm not even raising my hood, flip it, come over here, I flip this up like here. Because it's a little teetery, I'll just take one of these blocks and throw it inside there. Put my pinky on this part, and I'm just using my wrist right here. And I got my elbow right here. Everything is completely controlled. We call this in-position welding. So I never, I hate out-of-position welding. I'll even apologize to the customer when I'm like, hey, this isn't gonna turn out right because I'm completely upside down and my hands are behind my back and I'm trying to weld this in a mirror. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that to the customer, but if I for some reason you have to because of the part or whatever, I give them forewarning, like this isn't me. My welds are consistent. I do it the same way every time. I set it up, I'll take my clamp. I don't care if it takes me an hour to set it up. I do it the same way every time. Why? Because I want repeat business. I don't want to do it and somebody judge me down the road like, Eric did that? Oh man, no. Don't go to procreation. His is just cobbled garbage or whatever. No, you want people to be like, oh, they did that? It doesn't matter what it costs. I tell the guys, oh, it's just $200 an hour. It's not, but like if I tell them it's $200, they don't care. They know I'm reliable. Every single time my welds come out the same way. That's what your business should be. Whether you're charging $35 an hour, $50 an hour, $100 an hour, whatever it is, like that's your game. And you stand behind it because you put out the same work every time. I would do all of the ones I have. If it's 50 of them, I'd do everyone like that because I'm in position right here. So at that point, I know I've got all my uprights done here, 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 and here. And so now the reason why I do the uprights like that one is to balance out the heat. When I come back, I'm gonna be able to cover up my buttons from here, cover that one up, all the way over here, and roll this on the inside so that it looks pretty. This is already rolled on the inside because I did that with the tack. I'm gonna weld all these uprights.
So I run an Everlast 255 EXT. I've got a water-cooled CK torch. On these parts, I'm running a GL7Q.
We got all of our parts welded in the uprights. Like I said, I do this to balance heat. By the time I've welded my last one, normally there are groups of 10 or 100 or whatever, the first one I did is cold. If it's not, like if you're not welding production, I get it. Not a lot of us do, and I don't do it all the time. But if I'm welding a part and it's crucial, which all of mine are because I have the same concept for everything. It's my brand. I want everything to look the same. So I'll weld, however much I can weld, and then when it's hot, I let it cool down. Patience. The part's not gonna run away. So let it cool down. The customer's paying for it, You charge them by the hour, and they're like, well, you're just sitting there or whatever. It's like, look, I'm letting this part cool down. It's gotta happen. If not, you're gonna have a muddied up part, whether it's steel, you're gonna have a gray, cooked, cobbled garbage piece of junk. It's gonna be brittle, it's not gonna function right or whatever. Same thing with aluminum. It cools faster, but they're just gonna have to be patient. If they wanna go somewhere else, it's worth it. Let them go somewhere else. You want the customers that are gonna come back to you because you did it right. If you're wanting the customers that want it cheap, I've done that. I fixed trailers, I fixed boats, I've crawled around on the ground, I've got burned clothes and hands, and I'm dirty or whatever. I come out here in my underwear. I just put on some gloves, put on some sleeves, a hood, and get my stuff done and go back in and kiss my baby because I'm still clean. I did that on purpose. This is the way I wanted to weld. So not taking anything away from MIG welding, those guys are artists. Like it's crazy the stuff that those guys can do. It just wasn't what I wanted to do. If you're wanting to be a TIG welder, you're wanting to sit behind a fabrication table and weld clean parts and put Instagram welds up that people want to heart and stuff like that, this is the way that I did it. More than one way to skin a cat. Take it as you want. Now that my part is cool, I have to reposition everything because this is a different size weld. What I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna get my part up off the ground or off the table, surface area, whatever. I have to adjust my height. I already know what this is because I've done it 100 times. But if I was doing it, and this is my first part, I would adjust things until I got it right before I ever struck an arc. So that being said, here we go. I'm gonna put this one here. I'm gonna weld down this row, and then I'm gonna circle around this button and finish out and roll into this corner right here, and it'll be a seamless, pretty weld. I'm not gonna weld until it's stable, and then I'm gonna go for it. And it's gonna turn out the same for the next 100 that I do, because all I have to do is move my hand, keep my foot on the pedal, and just make repetitive movements, right? Crank your favorite music, and just lose yourself in it. And once you're done, I promise you'll be proud of it. Some variables I'm talking about also is heat. I like to keep moving right through here because this metal is thin. I have to feather my throttle a little bit, my throttle being my pedal. I'm going to lift a little bit, make some faster dabs, and then I'm going to slow back down, getting closer to the meat right here because this is going to get really hot. It's going to want to sink in and it's going to want to blow through. This customer, because this is a part that people use, they don't like to have penetration all the way through. This is not holding up a roller coaster, so it's tray. So we're trying to make it pretty. We got pretty welds on the outside, and then we don't have this muddy penetration on the inside. All this is gonna be powder coated, it's gonna look brilliant. Outside corners are really awesome, pretty easy to make look shiny and, you know, just like jewelry. Customers love it. Now, on to the last parts of this. I'm gonna have to change my amperage, I'm gonna have to change my style. We're still not wanting to go full penetration. I can't pierce through the backside, but I've got to protect this right here. I can't have this separating, breaking this tack or anything like that. So I've got like a 2-inch weld through here, a 2-inch weld through here, and it just looks cool when you have those big dimes, those big fat welds. So I'm gonna increase my amperage, I'm gonna use my foot pedal, and I'm gonna get a little artsy, and we're gonna throw in some big fat dimes right through here, just for the customers. I mean, really, I can do little small welds and it'd be all the same, but it just wouldn't look as pretty. And that's not our label. That's not your label. You want to make it look all right, and then you want to make it look cool for anybody that's buying it. So anytime that you're working on something like this, that you want to keep in mind, like, how can I improve? Like, I'm never, like right now, if somebody gets in the confidence and they're like, oh man, you could do this and this, I'm going to take into consideration. Like, I'm no genius. Like, this is just what I've cobbled together in my garage, you know, and I've got a customer base that keeps me busy 24/7 if I wanted to be. And that's not bragging. That's just what's happened. And that's what could happen in your garage if that's what you wanted. You can turn your hobby into a really good side hustle. But that being said, I'm always open for improvement. There are several people out there, which I'll name at the end of the video, that have really inspired me and helped me along the way. I never went to a trade school. Hell, I barely graduated high school. All right, so there's a lot of things I've gone over and a lot of things I've definitely missed. There's always next week. You can't learn this in one day, all right? I've done this for nearly 20 years. It's only been the past few years I've started picking up momentum and dialing in my settings and speed and myself and everything else. I can give that credit to a lot of people in my industry. One, Josh Knoll for Knoll Industries, the guy that has given me so many repetitive parts. I have other customers too. When they come about and I'm welding with them in front of you, I'll give them a shout out. But this guy has really changed my world on welding, just because he's given me an opportunity to do it over and over and over again. And that didn't come easy. He'll laugh about this too when he sees it, but this is another thing, like, you have to stay consistent. I hammered on him for a while. Man, just let me help you, let me help you, let me help you. I've peppered people with business cards, and I do social media posts that I don't like to do, and I get on camera like I am right now, which I don't like to do, and things like that I get outside of my comfort zone, and I put myself out there because I know that what I'm doing is better than the next guy in my area. And I'm not being cocky. I've just put in the work. Like, I've earned it, and you can earn it easily. You can just get in your garage and just start burning metal. Like, I literally started welding razor blades and beer cans and anything I could find to just get the muscle memory down. You can do it too. It's not that hard. Just get in there and know that you're going to spend money. Argon's not cheap, you know, metal's not cheap, but don't waste your time just doing the same coupons. So all of what I'm going to show you, if EDGE lets me come back, if you guys will want me to come back and show you more stuff, like, all I'm going to show you is my day-to-day, whether it's a repair, whether it's production parts, whether it's one-off parts. I'm going to show you how I address it as I address it. There's going to be no, the Wizard of Oz, there's going to be nobody behind the curtain. I'm going to show you everything I got, because I only learned one way. Number one, and first and foremost, Dusty James, Pacific Art. geez, man, go watch that guy. Like, it's a rabbit hole. Like, you'll learn so much just visually watching him. And don't think, oh, when I weld this one joint, just think this is how he's moving himself. This is how his welds are laying out. His amps are relevant because you're different than him. Go look at the Fabricator series on YouTube. There's 5th Street Fab. I haven't talked to that guy. He's got a lot of good stuff out there. He MIGs, he TIGs, he's really good too. Jody, Welding Monger, he's old school, but man, he knows his stuff. He's really good. All these people are super talented, and I can't even believe that EDGE asked me to be a part of it. Leave some comments, man, if you want me to come back. Great. I would love to show you guys some more of what I got going on and how I got here. Do something nice for somebody. That's what Dusty always says. I think that's an awesome thing to do. I mean, we always pay it forward. He's paid it forward. I'm trying to pay it forward. Let's keep it rolling. That being said, I hope to see you next time. Prost.